Dear friends, in this video lecture, we will discuss the two concepts in hydrostatics. One is hydrostatic paradox and other is the Pascal's law. What is hydrostatic? Hydrostatic is the branch of physics which deals with study of fluids at rest. Fluids, liquids and gases are the fluids. But liquids are incompressible. Therefore, we will concentrate on the properties of liquids in more, because in order to study the behavior of gases, again we have to think of few more different assumptions, because the gases are compressible. Here we know that pressure is the normal force acting per unit area. Pressure is force which act perpendicular to surface area. For a liquid, this pressure is weight of the liquid applied on the surface divided by area of the liquid. And this comes out to be equal to rho Hg. The pressure exerted by the liquid is equal to the density into the depth of the liquid column from the surface and acceleration due to gravity. Now, what is paradox? Paradox is what? विरोधाभास. विरोधाभास म्हणजे आपल्याला जे वाटतं ते त्याच्यापेक्षा वेगळं असणं. विरोधाभास. The hydrostatic paradox, that is the paradox of fluids, liquids at rest, we will see in the figure. Here what we will see, there are four different containers of liquid of different shapes. This is A container, B container, C container and D container. All the three containers are interconnected to each other. The liquid is poured in opening of the cylinder A. Then the liquid is filled in all the cylinders, all the containers of different shapes. But what you will see that the level of liquid in all the cylinder will be the same. In all the cylinders, the level of liquid will be the same. Here you will see everywhere the horizontal level of the liquid will be the same. What is paradox here? विरोधाभास काय आहे इथे? इथे विरोधाभास हा आहे की the amount of water or liquid in each of the container is different. The water in a container B has the highest amount present in it. Water in a container D has the lowest amount in it. In A and B, it is intermediate of the two. इथे काय लक्षात आलं तुमच्या की इथे असलेल्या लिक्विडचं किंवा पाण्याचं क्वांटिटी सी मध्ये सगळ्यात जास्त आहे, डी मध्ये सगळ्यात कमी आहे आणि या दोघांच्या मध्ये आहे. Therefore, weight of liquid in a container B, C is maximum. It will exert a maximum force here. The area is smaller one. The force upon area, maximum force, minimum area. Therefore, what we expect that the pressure at C should be greater than that of the pressure on D, because the amount of quantity of water or liquid in it is small, therefore its weight is small, therefore the force acting on this lower surface will be small, therefore pressure will be small. But this doesn't happen. Why this doesn't happen? This doesn't happen because we will consider container C. This is the container C. The liquid used to apply the pressure because of a force. The force is perpendicular to the surface. At the same time, the container, wall of the container exert force on the liquid. The red color arrow shows the force. This force is resolved into two mutually perpendicular component. This is the vertical component of a force and this will be the horizontal component of a force, Fh, Fv. In a similar manner, here this is the horizontal component of a force and this is the vertical component of a force. The horizontal component of a force at a different point will be like this, and the horizontal component of force on the liquid shown by the red arrows are in opposite direction, cancels each other, and only thing remaining is the vertical component of force, and all those are in vertically upward direction. Therefore, there is no effect of horizontal component and hence you will get only vertical components, and because of that there is no effect of weight. Here also interesting to know that the pressure exerted depends on the height. It only depends on height, not on area. And like this, though initially we said that it is a paradox, but by microscopic view it is not a paradox, it's a mere science, because of which the liquid level will be same at the same height, because the pressure at the same height will be the same whatever may be the area. This is the hydrostatic paradox, and it is for the liquids which are at rest. Now hereafter we will think of one more property, or rather principle of liquids at rest, and that principle is the Pascal's principle, or rather we will say that Pascal's law. In day-to-day life, we will see so many examples of Pascal's law. The best example that we used to see every day in the morning, whenever we squeezes the toothpaste, tube of the toothpaste. You squeeze the tube of the toothpaste at one point at the bottom, and the toothpaste will come out from the mouth. You are applying pressure to one end and the paste will come out from the opening or the mouth of the tube. Why it happens? It happens because Pascal stated that whatever is the amount of pressure you used to apply at a single point or at any point in the incompressible liquid, the pressure is equally transmitted undiminished throughout the liquid. The pressure applied at some point in the liquid is equally transmitted undiminished throughout the liquid. लिक्विड मध्ये एखाद्या पॉइंटला तुम्ही जर प्रेशर अप्लाय केलं तर ते अप्लाय केलेलं प्रेशर त्या लिक्विड मध्ये सर्व बाजूनी सारख्या प्रमाणात पसरलं जातं. म्हणून टूथपेस्टला एका बाजूनी प्रेस केलं तर आपण लावलेलं प्रेशर टूथपेस्ट मधल्या सगळ्या भागामध्ये इक्वली ट्रान्समिट होतं आणि त्याच्यातून ती पेस्ट बाहेर पडते. इट इज व्हेरी इंटरेस्टिंग टू quote here is that if I say I am able to lift a car of 1000 kilogram by applying a mere force of 100 Newton, you may say that you are joking. मी तुम्हाला असं सहज म्हणालो की 10 न्यूटन फोर्स लावून मी 1000 न्यूटन इतका फोर्स असलेल्या कारला उचलू शकतो. किंवा मी असं म्हणेन की 10 किलो वजनाच्या मदतीने मी 1000 किलो वजनाची वस्तू उचलू शकतो आणि ते शक्य आहे पास्कल्स लॉनी आणि ते ज्याच्याने केलं जातं ते असते हायड्रॉलिक लिफ्ट. This is the schematic diagram of hydraulic lift. Now, what you will see that this hydraulic lift has the two cylinders interconnected with each other, filled with some fluid. Here, this is the cylinder. This is the cylinder A. This is the cylinder B. Area of the cylinder A is A1. The cross section area of cylinder B is A2. The cylinder is filled with liquid, incompressible liquid. Now, let this area of cylinder A is only 1 centimeter square. As an example, we are taking this one. 1 centimeter square, what it means that it is a square. The cross section of the cylinder is square. It is of 1 by 1 centimeter. 1 centimeter square. Each side is of 1 centimeter. Its area is side square, 1 centimeter square, and this is the cylinder whose cross section area is 100 centimeter square. It's a square of 10 by 10 centimeter. 10 centimeter of side. The area of the A2 is 100 times more than that of the area A1. If we apply a force F1 here, if we apply a force F1 on cylinder A1, then the pressure exerted on the liquid in a cylinder A1, P1 is equal to F1 by A1. And what is the pressure applied at A1 is equally distributed throughout the liquid and it will act same as A1 on A2. Therefore, the pressure on cylinder B P2 is equal to F2 divided by A2. By the Pascal's law, the pressure applied at one point is equally transmitted undiminished in all parts of the cylinder, and because of that you will get P2 is equal to P1. Therefore, F2 by A2 is equal to F1 by A1, and therefore I will write what this F2 is equal to A2 divided by A1 into, I should write it as F1. How A2 is? A2 is 100 times that of A1. Therefore, this F2 is equal to 100 F1. It means that if I used to apply a force of 10 Newton here by keeping a 1 kilogram mass on cylinder A, the force I will get on the other side is 100 into 10, 1000 Newton. And if I apply a force of 100 Newton here, by keeping a mass of 10 kilogram here, you will get a force to lift is of 10,000 Newton. It means that 10,000 Newton, what it means that it is 1000 kilogram. Therefore, by keeping a force or a weight of 10 kilogram here, I am able to lift a body of 1000 kilogram. This is the Pascal's law. Pascal's law is also used in hydraulic brakes. Hydraulic brake system, you know that when a vehicle is moving with a high speed, in order to slow down the speed of the vehicle or in order to stop the vehicle immediately, the driver used to apply a brake. The brake has a lever, brake lever. Now, this brake lever is provided with a piston, and the fluid is inside the tube provided to the piston. This is the brake lever, and this tube is connected to the 4 different cylinders, and these cylinders are thereafter connected to the drums of rotating wheel. These are the cylinders. These are the cylinders. These cylinders are connected to the brake pads. The brake pads of the rotating wheels. These are the cylinders we are having. These cylinders are called as the slave cylinders, and this one, the brake lever or brake pedal rather we say, and this is called as the master cylinder. Now, there is a liquid inside the tube which are connected to each other, and the ends of the tubes are connected to the brake pads, and the tube is filled with a fluid which is incompressible. Even the brake is applied or when the brake pedal is pushed forward, the pressure is equally distributed throughout the liquid and it goes to the four slave cylinders. Let the slave cylinder, we will consider it as A2. These are connected to four drums of rotating wheel. A force applied, a pressure applied to a brake pedal is equally distributed with the help of liquid connected interconnected tubes, and the ends of the tubes are connected to the drums of rotating wheel, and the drums of rotating wheel have the brake pads, and the brake pad pushes to stop or slow down the speed of the vehicle. This is the Pascal's law is used to lift the heavy vehicles. In the same way, Pascal's law is applied in order to stop or slow down the vehicles. Thank you very much.